All right, so today we're going to look at the third and fourth geometry postulates, those rules that we've been looking at in geometry. This is considered the lesson video, so we're going to explore those rules on our note sheets and review some examples of exactly what the concepts are. And then I'm also going to attach a guided assignment video. So just so that you're aware, I wanted to point it out to you that this guided assignment video is something that you can use when you are completing your assignment work. It's going to highlight problems and show you, manipulate the pictures on your screen so that you can see it visually as you complete your work. So I do encourage you to use that if you still need a little bit more guidance and practice with these concepts as you're completing your assignment. All right, so let's dive into the content. See if I can make this a little bit more on your screen. All right, so the first kind of postulate or rule that we're looking at in geometry is the idea that, as you know, planes are labeled using 3 points. So in geometry, those are also highly used in creating figures. So they are basically, planes are most often seen and used within geometric figures, like the picture below there. It's actually a shape, right? So we're going to take a minute and name all the planes that are represented in figure. So again, this is just testing to see and making sure that you're aware of how to identify planes inside of figures correctly with the labels. So to kind of help us out, since we are going to be labeling all sides of our figure, we would need to use the label plane. So to kind of reduce the writing, I've writing this out a million times, I put kind of the label there, planes, with my colon, so that we understand that all the other labels past this are referring to a plane. So let's dive right in. We're going to label all the sides of our figure. So I'm going to I might start here right in the front, and we're talking about this front side of the figure. So you should notice that it is touching up against 4 different points, A, B, A, D, E, H. So we're referring to A, D, H, E, this front side of my figure. So when you go to label it, guys, you only really need 3 capital letters, but I think when you're labeling figures, it is kind of helpful to include all of the points that are part of that plane. So you feel like you're creating the entire side of the figure with your label. So A, D, H, E. Again, order doesn't matter of letters. So whatever you're comfortable with, whichever way you go around your figure is completely acceptable. All right, so kind of working my way around the figure. Look at this side. Again, you should hopefully see that it is, when I connect it with my pen there, you should see it's D, C, F, E. That's just kind of the way I chose to draw my figure. You could have started here and said C, F, E, D, whichever way you see it is completely acceptable. Okay, looking at what I consider the back side of our figure, because it also has lines that are dotted. That kind of means 3D image, right? Those are in the back. So looking at this side, or this plane on my figure, you could label it as B, C, G, F. I apologize, my writing's a little rough with this stylus. Okay, moving to the next side of the figure. I kind of see it as the side, the left-hand side. So we could say B, A, H, G. So hopefully you guys get the point. We're looking at the sides of a figure and labeling them. Sometimes it does help to see that highlighted image. So again, this is where that instructional, the assessment, the guided assessment video will help you. I'll work your way through with you and highlight the different parts so that you can label them. So looking at the top of this figure, A, B, C, D. And we'll leave one more here on the bottom. And if I was going to label that bottom, H, G, E, F. Okay, so you're going to have a practice problem just like this. If you'd like to see the highlighting, make sure you check out that guided assessment video and have that up at the same time so that you can work your way through. Okay, so the fourth rule, the very last rule that we're going to look at here in geometry for this unit is about when two planes intersect, when they cross together. So you can kind of see in that figure, we've got an orange sheet of paper and a blue sheet of paper, and they cross at a line. So you can see this little red line in here. So in my example, my orange sheet of paper and my blue sheet of paper cross at y, x, y. Oh, so I'm gonna erase it again there so you can see the letters. And you see their red line, that those two pieces of paper cross at a line. So the big picture is two planes cross at a line. So looking at our figure and some examples, name the intersection of plane ABC and plane BEG. So the first thing you should realize is that the intersection of two planes always is a line. So looking specifically at what two planes we're looking at or what two sides, let's first start with ABC. ABC, and again, I'm gonna finish the box, finish my square there. And we're looking at the other plane of BFG. So again, I would encourage you to start with the dots BFG. If I'm going to finish my box. Again, sometimes in labels, you're only going to see 3 letters. You may label them with 4, but when it's given to you in terms of a label, you're often only going to see 3 letters. So again, draw point to point, connect your dots, and then finish your circle. I'm sorry, finish your square. Depends on what your figure is. So we're looking at the top part of our cube there and the right-hand side of our cube. You should be able to see where they come together. Think of it visually, those two pieces of paper, if you're ignoring all the other sides, they come together right here. So we're looking at BC. You could have also written it as CB if you would think the other way. Most of the time, we think in order, so it's unlikely. But again, you can switch the order of the numbers, or I'm sorry, of the letters, so don't panic on that. So looking at example 2, one more for you. Again, you're going to be asked to do this. So if you'd like to highlight and follow along, get that assignment video out as you complete your work. Okay, so looking at ABF, ABF. Okay, that's the back, my back square. And my second one, EHG, EHG. Okay, that's referring to the bottom of my figure. And if I look at where they're crossing, hopefully you should be able to see it. Right here's where my two colors to come together, where my two planes come together. So that would be line EF. All right, last kind of task. Still with the same rule there, that the idea that two planes, when they come together and intersect at a line. Sometimes you're going to be asked to find what sides of your figure come together at that line. So if I look at this first example, name two planes that intersect at HG. So HG, your first task is, hey, find it on the picture. Where is side or that line HG? And then you're going to visualize what two sides of my shape come together at that line. One of my sides would be the front side. Again, kind of imagine yourself holding up sheets of paper or holding this cube in your hand. Find a square at your house, find a dice if it helps you. I know 3D figures can be kind of tricky sometimes. So we're looking at that first side, that front side. So when we're identifying a plane, use 4 letters, use 3 letters, but you also have to put your label in there. Again, I'm asking for 2 lines, so I'm going to take my shortcut, planes, and then list our 2 planes. So we said that first one is our front side of our figure, so DCHG. Then we're going to be looking at this back plane, and I know they overlap. Hopefully the colors help you see it. We're talking about the bottom part of our cube also buddies up and comes right up along this front bottom line of HG. So labeling that second plane, we would say EFHG. All right, one more example. Just erased. So the second one is saying, what two sides of my figure are going to intersect at line DC? So here's DC. If I'm talking about what two sides, so you see this top side and the front side are what are going to come together at that intersection, that purple line of DC. So just quickly kind of labeling those. My green front side is DCHG. Oh, I have to make sure to put planes. Double check yourself on that, guys. So again, I'm looking at two planes, so I can do that. I'm going to list them right here. The front side, DCHG, and then that purple top roof, however you want to kind of think of it, would be ABCD. Right here. All right, so those are basically the concepts and some examples that go along with those geometry rules. So again, there is a guided assessment video if you want to take a minute, review that. While you complete your assignment, if you feel like the highlighting is very helpful for you to see the different sides of the 3D figures, please make sure that you go ahead and do that. If you're struggling with how you write your symbols, if you're having a hard time using the Microsoft tools, feel free to write it out. You can also write out your answers and take a picture and submit it as well. I've went ahead and allowed both of those submission types. So again, if you're struggling at all, please reach out. Most preferred, Microsoft Teams. The chat feature is a great way to get a hold of me, or again, inbox. I can only help you as much as you reach out. So please get in touch if you need anything. Otherwise, good luck.